Ms Legalista here, aka Attorney Sheila. I mentioned to you before that I did not think it was a good idea to impersonate federal agents. Like, if you want to commit a fraud, that's probably not the one you want to do.
Yeah.
Thanks for joining. Yes, not saying that I want people to commit frauds or that I want them to be smarter about doing it, but let's just talk about this so that you don't fall victim to this. And again, this is another one of those scams that targeted seniors, I'm telling you, the scammers, the fraudsters, they are definitely hunting, using our seniors as, I don't know, I guess prey. That might be a way to put that. Let's see if I can bring this up here. Member of FBI imposter ring that intimidated. You know what? Let me go to the top here because I always want to point this out for those of you who may be new to the channel. The Department of Justice is changing its site. Okay, it says here at the top, in the coming months, you'll see new pages, more pages in this new design. But you could always look here for the little flag and for this that says an official website of the United States government. Here's how you know, because I want you to make sure that you're on the right site. All right, you got it? Okay, now let's get back down to this person who actually thought that it was a good idea to impersonate a federal agent. Why? Why would you ever choose to do that? This is actually coming out of the Southern District of Florida. Okay, so I could make a joke about that, but I'm gonna skip it. Member of FBI imposter ring that intimidated, defrauded victims, sentenced to federal prison. Well, let's see exactly what Ronaldo Morales Gonzalez, 52 of Doral, Florida, did. He was sentenced to 30 months in prison in order to pay $123,000 in restitution after pleading guilty late last year to conspiracy to commit mail fraud. Now, here's the thing. $123,000. You guys, this doesn't really sound like a whole lot of money. Now, I actually did a live earlier today where I was talking about Elizabeth Holmes' restitution. Remember, because she defrauded a whole bunch of investors out of millions of dollars. And I actually still have the number here, $452 million. $452 million, almost $500 million. Think about how long you got to work, how hard you got to work to come up with that amount of money to pay it back to somebody. I also talked about Billy McFarland, Fire Festival. He's been doing some interesting things, trying to raise money to pay his restitution. I think his is around 27 million though. So this amount is doable. This amount that we see here, the $123,000, that's doable. We know people make that in a year, okay? But he's got to do it after he comes out of this 30 months in federal prison. But let's see if we can figure out exactly what he had going on here. Gonzalez was part of a fraud scheme that targeted mostly elderly users of a money transfer service. Fraudsters would contact users of the service. Now, it would be helpful to know which service it was and whether or not this service has now started to put out more information of its own to help its customers understand what to look for so that they are not taken advantage of by these fraudsters. I don't know. It would be nice to know who the service is. It may be in the documents if I dig down. And actually, I'm going to go to one of the documents in a little bit. All right, fraudsters would contact users of the service, identify themselves as FBI agents using the names of real agents. You guys, I feel like this is out of a movie now, because here's the thing. You go, okay, so I'm sorry, what was your name again? And then you say, okay, well, I'm going to have to check into that. So now you call the FBI office in Miami to check on this agent, and you find out it's a real agent. So how many times have I told you guys to follow up, do the research? And yet I keep also saying the scammers and fraudsters are working just as hard as you are. You're working hard to keep your money. They are working hard to take it. To take it. They were using real names of agents. Can you imagine? How do you beat these guys? How do you beat them? So they were using the names of real agents and scared the users into believing that the FBI had identified them as financial supporters of terrorism, threatening legal action. Look at this, threatening legal action, and in one case, deportation. They're like, hey, we're going to call immigration on you. We're going to get ICE. And if that person has a family, all of a sudden it's like, I'll pay whatever you need. I'll do whatever you need. You know? The fraudsters tricked the victims into mailing blank money orders. So this is the part I need people to familiarize themselves with. Okay? So the first thing you want to do is verify. You got to do more now. It cannot just be, I'm going to call the FBI office and verify the name. You actually have to speak to the FBI agent in the office, and not the number that the person calls you from. You're going to have to Google it and find that number to make sure that you're not being given a runaround number that's not associated with a real office. Then look for this. The fraudsters trick the victims into mailing blank money orders. Who would do that? The FBI is not going to ask you for blank money orders. I'm telling you, no blank money orders. And those were sent to addresses associated with Gonzalez. Some victims were repeatedly victimized and forced to take funds from retirement accounts to satisfy the demands. You guys, this piece right here, repeatedly victimized, there's actually a term. I'm going to tell you what it is before we finish this video. There's actually a term for this. When they come back to you again and again and again to repeatedly victimize you, yes, there's a term for that. And forced to take funds from retirement accounts to satisfy the demands. All right. This case was investigated out of Miami. Okay, let me pop over and see if I can actually find this indictment here. I have so many things open. I tell you, I can't find it. I have no idea where it is. All right, general allegations. He has some bank accounts. These were the victims listed here. So look at how they are all across the country. Like, these scammers and fraudsters don't care where you live. They will come after you. They don't discriminate on the basis of location. They just want to know if you have green money. You got California, Ohio, Colorado, New York, Tennessee, Montana. Montana? You guys, I mean, my goodness. All right, mail fraud. And look, it went on from, and here was another thing that they took into account. It went on from March 2017 until around December 2021. They were like, this wasn't a one-time thing. You did this for years. It says, to devise a scheme and artifice to defraud and obtain money and property by means of materially false and fraudulent pretenses, representations, and promises, knowing that they were false or fraudulent, for the purpose of executing and attempting to execute the scheme and artifice, did knowingly cause to be delivered certain mail. Okay, mail fraud. Got purpose of the conspiracy to send money. All right, here we go. Let's see. It says Mr. Gonzalez and his co-conspirators contacted or caused to be contacted victims and falsely represented themselves to be agents with the FBI or other law enforcement. They posed as actual agents. Actual agents. This is what I was saying before. Who thinks that this is a good idea here? Actual agents. Actual agents, yeah, who were assigned to the Miami field office. During these calls, they falsely told these victims that the victims were the subjects of investigation for sending money to terrorists or to support terrorist activities, you guys. And then they told them that they were in danger of imminent arrest as a result of this terrorism investigation, and that in order to avoid arrest and other legal consequences, they had to send blank U.S. postal money orders via Federal Express to addresses that they provided. So that is the scam. That is the scam. They were sent to his home address or to some other location here, deposited into his personal bank accounts. And that is what they did. Now, remember I told you earlier, and I was trying to find it in here. I was going to tell you exactly what that term was before. It's somewhere in here, and I don't feel like I want to take a whole lot of time trying to look for it. But they call it reloading when they keep coming back to victimize the same party again and again, and telling them, oh, we need more money. That's called reloading. I didn't know there was a term for it. That ought to tell you something right there, right? Yeah. Oh, wait, I missed this part. You guys, wait. Let's look here. It says, by fraudulently posing as law enforcement personnel, judges, and lawyers. Yeah. And so, yeah, not just FBI agents. Not just FBI agents. So that's the scam. That's the scam that you need to be sharing with people, letting them know how it works. Okay, so somebody's calling. They're saying they're with the FBI, or maybe they're a judge. Now, I mean, think this through. A judge is not really going to call you. Okay, so typically in a real world scenario, it would be a clerk from the judge's office or something like that, a clerk from the court. So even if you get that one, be suspicious. Okay, FBI agents, other law enforcement personnel, they said judges, they said attorneys. Yeah. So that's the first piece. And they used real names. So what you want to then do is to call, Google it, look it up, say, what's your name again? Then you need to get on your own computer, on your own cell phone, look up the courthouse number, look up the local FBI office, and call and say, I was contacted by this person, and this is what I was told. And the moment, I guarantee you, the moment that you tell them, and this officer in your office told me to provide blank money orders, that person is going to say, yeah, we don't tell anybody to give us blank money orders. This sounds like a scam. Yeah, what was the name of the officer again? Yeah, like they're going to know, and you're going to find out, and that is going to save you a lot of heartache, because then you won't be losing your money to the scam. So that's what you need to think about when this is going on. Like this law enforcement officer, FBI agent, judge, clerk, attorney, whoever it is calling me. I need to verify who they are by calling the office directly, and I don't give blank money orders to people. And then when they tell you where to send it to, verify where that is, because it should not be going to a home address. It would be going to the court. So those are the boxes you need to check to make sure that you are not being scammed by fake federal agents and others. There you go. All right, don't forget to give the video a thumbs up. Don't forget to share. Like, that's the information you need to share so that we can have fewer people falling victim to these kinds of crimes. All right, peace.